Hello, Bronwynlund from Bornholm Tours here. I'm on the island of Bornholm, and I'm making these 360 walking tour films for people who either can't get to the island or can't get around the island. And today I'm standing in Helligpeder. It's an old fishing village that is on the northeast side of the island of Bornholm. And I'm going to walk south from the fishing village along some pretty pristine coastline. So I really hope you enjoy the tour. It's an absolutely beautiful day for filming today. It's really still and quiet, and there is just a little bit of information about the town here. It was in the middle of the 1950s, before the mechanisation of fishing. There were 6 fishing vessels registered in Helligpeder. They were 25 to 30 foot vessels, and the passage to the harbour was often made difficult because of the low water. Paulie Vang, fisherman, tells that the boats often had to sail to Hasle. It was even worse when we had to stay in our own harbour because of low water, in good fishing weather, and wait for the water to rise so that the boats could get out. Hasle is another fishing town just a bit further south of this town. Smokehouse owner Valdemar Wang described his work as a fisherman from 1930 to 50. We started fishing before sunset and came back to the harbour at 1 or 2 o'clock after midnight. After that, we picked off the herrings and brought them on a wheelbarrow to the smokehouse, situated 300 metres from northeast of the harbour, often 3 to 5 rounds. Next, we had to fetch the net and hang it up to dry. It was made of twist and not nylon, like nowadays. So the village has actually been restored. This is a very good example of a typical Bornholm fishing village. So we're just walking along the harbour here, and in the summer you can actually come along and use these spots here on the left and have a barbecue. We've got some barbecue equipment set up, but that's actually where the old fishermen used to sit and smoke and talk about the good and bad things about their jobs. And this is a restored fisherman's cottage from the 1800s. So I'm just going to go up between the fishing cottage here and round the back of some of these old fishermen's houses. Of course, now the town is a holiday town, so it's pretty closed up at the moment because it's the middle of winter. It's about 3 degrees. So there's not very many people around at the moment, but in the summer it actually becomes quite busy. We just go down the hill here and around, and then we come out onto really quite a beautiful vista right along the edge of the water. And if we look over to our right, once we get down to the water's edge here, we'll be able to see Sweden today because it's a beautiful, clear winter's day. can see over to the left here that this house has a smokehouse. See the chimney on the top of the smokehouse there, where they can actually smoke their own herring. A very famous and delicious delicacy from Bornholm is the smoked fish. Right, so this was a cannon battery, a spot of defence, with Sweden just over the horizon there, or on the horizon actually. The island was constantly under threat from invaders. It says here that only a few places in Denmark can boast as many ramparts and cannon batteries as the coast of Bornholm. In the 15th and 16th centuries, the ramparts were built as long, low earthworks placed as closely to the beach as possible. They were infantry ramparts protecting the defenders against fire from enemy ships. Moreover, they gave the defenders advantageous position in hand-to-hand fighting. In the 18th and 19th centuries, quite a few cannon batteries were erected on nearly all points along the coast. They are made of banks of turf and have straight fronts and backward bending flanks. The stands of the cannons in the battery were built of stone and gave the cannons a firm foundation and a free field of fire. So between Hasle, which is the town just south of here, and Helligpeder, which is the town we've just come from, in 1927 there were 11 batteries along the coast between Hasle and Helligpeder. There's only 7 of them preserved today. So there's no certain evidence as to when these batteries were built and how they were armed. So here's a couple of mounds here off to the right that would have been defensive batteries with cannons on them to defend the island. I'm pretty happy that these days we have tourism as our main economic driver, and not having to protect the island from marauding ships or military ships. Certainly makes life a lot easier and more predictable when you know that the invasion comes in summer and it's a positive one. So up ahead of us, to the right here, is Hasle, the entrance to Hasle Harbour. It's another town on the central east coast of Bornholm. Lovely place. They have a good smokery there where you can get some very nice smoked herring, and my favourite actually is the smoked mackerel. Oh, it's just absolutely delicious on a piece of cinnamon kneckwoll, actually, which is a weird combination, but there's this kneckwoll or like Rivita type things that you can get, crisp bread that you can get from Sweden. It's in all the shops in Denmark as well, and it's a round disc and it has a cinnamon flavour in it, and just the smoked herring, a fresh piece of smoked herring on that piece of kneckwoll, it's just heaven. So we're just coming into the outskirts of the bigger fishing town of Hasle. It's a bigger town than Hellig peder. It's also a holiday destination these days, but it also has a town hall and a fairly thriving city centre area. It's one of the bigger towns on the island. Just enjoying this sunshine. It's really, even though there's frost on the ground, the sun is quite warming, so it's really lovely. Yeah, so now we're getting a really good view of Hasle Harbour. This is probably a better vantage point here. Just make sure I don't fall off the cliff. So that's Hasle, and then if you just look a little bit beyond Hasle, the next harbour you can see is actually the big harbour, the big town of Rønne, which is the major town on the island. So I hope you enjoyed that walking tour. It's an absolutely marvellous day. This is Bronwynlund signing off from Bornholm Tours. Bye for now.